It's been a while since a legitimate top 5, as Stained would say. Been a while since we've covered one of these. So, T, you're back. Even though, I guess you don't exclusively do these videos, but, you've been kind of busy. We've been kind of busy. We've been working on some other stuff for the Let's Play channel. It's time to get you back in the saddle. It's time to ride you. It's time to get you back in the ride. It's time... We're just going to move right into the 5 best Batmobile races from Arkham Knight. Now, these were definitely disputed in terms of being added into the game. A lot of people think these are completely worthless, never touched them. Other people really liked them. Thought they were, kind of a hidden gem, really fun. I think you and I land somewhere in between. So we're going to kind of look through these, do the 5 best today, 5 worst another time, and just see where it goes.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the plan today, and yeah, like you said, it was kind of mixed. I think we had plenty of Batmobile in the story, but I guess tracks are fun, so
It's better than nothing.
It's better than
That's
nothing.
always where I thought. I'd rather have this than no content.
More content is good.
But it wasn't the best. Number 5. The first one we have is actually the Wayne Tech Loop. Now, when you first brought this up as a fun one, I was kind of like, let's just move past this, because I didn't think it would be, because it was a, more of a base game-ish edition.
Yeah.
It was more based off of the Arkham Knight game. A lot of the good ones in this were themed off of movies and stuff. So I was kind of thinking going into this, this is going to be kind of boring. It actually isn't. This is a hidden Wayne Tech testing site for the Batmobile underwater, which is actually kind of neat.
It's really cool. Like when you're going through, the scenery that you see throughout the track is fantastic, and it is it can get a little repetitive as you're playing through as far as the gameplay and the objectives itself. With this one, you're just kind of going through and trying to hit green markers, and which is a little bit different from what you do throughout the other maps. So it's a bit of a different gameplay style, which, depending on what you like, it is what it is. But as far as just looking at the design of this map, it is a really cool, unique design as compared to some of the other ones that you see, even like the ones that are just in like a garage almost setting of the Wayne Tech, tracks. This one is more underwater and much more unique. So
I like Lucius Fox too.
Yes,
he guides you through this. It's clearly not Morgan Freeman, but it did sound like someone trying to be Morgan Freeman. I think they hired Frorgan Meeman for this one.
Very reputable guy.
Yeah, very reputable guy. They did not meet in a back alley at WB Studios.
Not a chance. No.
Number 4. The next one that we have is Cobblepots Causeway. Now, this is based mainly off of Batman Returns. I usually confuse this with another one that's on the list later in terms of name. I like this a lot. It's mostly an icy setting. You start out right at Wayne Manor, and you kind of move on from there. What's interesting about this one is it's almost entirely based off of Batman Returns, whereas the other 89 Batman one that we will actually, spoiler alert, talk about later is sort of a combination of both. This is more just like the Returns vibe that Tim Burton brought with, Max Schreck and that weird penguin that is very divisive and all this stuff.
Definitely. And they've got, and you see it too in that other 89 one too, and even throughout other movie DLC ones that they brought in where they blend a couple films into one map. But this one, like you said, it's very Tim Burton-y, very gothic throughout. They make that tone is perfect, and right when you start to seeing Wayne Manor, it looks awesome right away, and the vibe that they create, and obviously the music playing in this, and they do that really well in a few of these, but having the music there also really helps to set that tone. So yeah, this one was one of the more fun ones too, and you could tell they put a lot of effort into this one as well.
Well, and what are your thoughts about how they made these kind of look like movie sets? Even this, like if you drive behind Wayne Manor, you can see it's a set being painted. I thought that was neat.
The cameras and everything out there. Yeah, I honestly, I really like that. It feels, I think that was obviously what they were going for, and they do a really good job of it. It feels a bit more fun.
It's like you're a stunt driver on set of that movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's kind of what it feels like to me. Yeah, it's really interesting. I love how they do that. I love all the callbacks and the Easter eggs to that movie. It really just makes it fun and fleshes it out while you play through what would otherwise be not the best racing experience in the world. These racetracks, especially when real racing games exist. But it's fun. It's Batman themed racing. We haven't really seen a lot of this since the PlayStation 1 or that weird obscure, I think, early 2000s arcade game that you never see anymore.
Well, and it begs the question, not to get too off topic, but it begs the question of, well, if they would have just relaxed a little bit in the main story and then just had these going on with, more nostalgia, with it being mostly focused on, hey, check out this stuff. Let's go through a bunch of different, like basically memory lane through a bunch of different eras of Batman. maybe this content is much more well received and maybe isn't as divisive, but because it was so forced on you, it's kind of like, well, great, more tracks. Like, this is cool,
Yeah.
but I think if you would have eased up a little bit more in the story, maybe these are a bit more impactful.
I think, yeah, again, the final nail in the coffin for that, too, was the Season of Infamy being so late. And also the fact that people found out Prometheus was cut from it later.
That's
so
not
it's
great.
like you had time to do these, but you didn't have time to do quests with Prometheus, who you've been teasing
Since Asylum?
like both Asylum and City.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I think that really frustrated people and made people not enjoy these as much. The people, who are big Bat fans who knew the behind the scenes stuff.
For sure.
That was going on. Maybe not like, Joe Schmo who picked the game up once, played through it, loved it, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 3. So the next one we have is actually the Batcave set. This one is interesting. I mean, there's not actually a ton to say about this one. You kind of just roll right through it. It's a 60s themed Batman Batman racetrack based off of the show with Adam West. A lot of people, memed on Adam West's version of this character, but he really did mean a lot to a lot of people. I know this is the Batman that my mom grew up with. Yes. He was almost like the Superman version of Batman, where he's like happy-go-lucky, fun, like everyone
dancing
looks to
around,
him, and they're like, "Oh, Batman, you're awesome!" Not like, "Oh my gosh, I'm scared of Batman."
Right, yeah.
So I mean, you have that. You have you see them. You see the Burt Ward and Adam West. I can't talk.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin actually climbing up the rope, and it moves as you go by it. In one scene of this, there's a lot of really cool stuff. You pointed out the first time on, what was it, first time in theaters or first time on screen? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, they've got like the specific signs and a bunch of different stores and stuff from the show and stuff that you see as well. Obviously, the music again fits really well in this, and I think, like you said, the highlight of the whole map for me was when you're driving up, you're going for a jump off of the first time on television sign, and then Adam West and Burt Ward are climbing up the building alongside of you. That is absolutely, I think that alone was like, this has got to be in the list. So that one was absolutely a highlight.
Well, that's the thing too, is these have more merit, I would say, as nostalgia trips than as racetracks.
Yes.
And you're going to see too that when we get to the top 5 worst, most of them have no nostalgia, but the ones that do, that are on that list, really, they fall apart as racetracks. These all work as racetracks competently, and they're like amazing background set pieces.
Yes, which I think is what most people are there for. You could argue that maybe there are better racetracks designed and some other ones that were available, but just as far as what was the most enjoyable, I think these qualify.
Number 2, Penguin Dockyard. Again, it's 60s.
Yes, this one it's real close for me between this one and the last one.
I know, I kind of made like an executive decision, and I forgot. I was like thinking about putting this as first. Forgot
close.
to switch it.
No, this one is also another 60s one, and this one for me was the one where I was like, I immediately felt, as we were kind of going through and looking at all of these, this was the one, along with even the Batcave set, where they put the most effort in. And like, if you stop, we were going through and looking at photo mode and looking at all of the Easter eggs. They have a jump where you jump over and there's the sharks swimming around. There's the oceanic bat shark repellent.
Yeah, the
store
bat shark repellent that you could get,
which is so cool.
I love the Batcopter or the Bat helicopter.
That's in there too.
That was in there.
I had noticed that before, but that was brilliantly placed in there.
We had to stop it with the photo mode. That's the thing too, is you go through these, like, you have to go through fast, because if you cross the threshold for you didn't even get 1 star, the game fails you out, which I found annoying.
You can't really explore it. Yeah,
so we kind of had to go through here slow a few times and look at it with the photo mode, and the detail in the background of this one's unreal, especially the Batcopter and all the stuff going on around it.
Definitely.
The period accurate cars you pointed out.
Oh yeah, they've got those parts where it's like, it's the 1960s cars where if you just pay attention, like they really focused on every detail of this map, and not that they didn't in the other ones, but it just felt like this one had the most effort. Like, they really went hard on the nostalgia on this one. I think you can tell they really had fun with it, and I think that's why it's so fun for us as the player as well, is because the Rocksteady obviously had a really good time designing this one and the Batcave set. This one just seemed to have more Easter eggs and more going on though, for some reason, and I preferred this one. Number one.
I again went back and forth on this one a little bit with the last one, but the Joker Parade, I think this one might be one of the most nostalgic trips through the entire game. I also think it's a very good racetrack. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, you're going through, you avoid some of the ducks from return, so it makes you move around a little bit, but it's not too obnoxious. You know, there's some stuff like going through spikes and other things. I mean, it just felt fun and interesting. It was very gothic, you know, like a very gothic vibe.
Tim Burton-y.
Yeah, it is really Tim Burton-y, which I was surprised they were able to capture that well for a racetrack you drive through.
Yeah, they did, and they had like you said, a lot of the Easter eggs, like the Joker cake that you'll see throughout there.
Oh, I love that, the parade cake.
So cool. And as you're approaching that even, which is, you know, right towards the end of the movie, you'll see balloons up there that are releasing Joker gas into the, you know, onto the ground as well. So like you see that going. It's obviously still got this set feel though to it, so it still feels behind the scenes. And like you said, the track itself is very interactive and not overly complicated, but there's still a lot going on that makes it very interesting. And then you just kind of see all these awesome Easter eggs along the way. So yeah, this one was fantastic as well. You could tell, you can kind of see even throughout as we get to the bottom of the list too, that it just felt like more and more effort is what felt like was put into all of these. So yeah, it definitely reflected.
I feel like they kind of knew they had to too, because it was a tough sale.
It was.
For
yeah.
Arkham racetracks. I think that they kind of had an uphill battle, and they had to put that effort into these last few.
For sure.
So these are our 5 favorite Arkham racetracks in the franchise, which are only in one game. So I guess Arkham Knight, but you know, I'm just gonna say the franchise because I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. What are your favorite racetracks in this game? Did you ever try any of these? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are you one of the people who love the Batmobile to death in this game? Do you think it was overused? Very wide scope of opinions on Arkham Knight when it comes to all this stuff, especially those mechanics like the Batmobile and what Rocksteady did. So let us know. Be sure to check out the links in the description down below. We have the official Etsy shop where we are selling some official channel merch. My fiance and I both run that. I've designed a couple of the bracelets over there, so if you're interested in wearing a small piece of the channel, or hey, you just always want a small piece of me right by you, maybe it gives you the confidence to finally ask out that girl or boy or whoever you're asking out, other kin, maybe a furry. You know, I'm not judging. Like, you know, it's not a problem here. Furries are nice people. Just ask out whoever you want. Wear the bracelet. Just buy the bracelet. Just buy it. Come on. Don't you want to help me out? Just do it. All right. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, stay schwag.